Welcome to Almost Here, Round the Corner Future Technology podcast with Richard Jacobs. Future technologies poised to transform our lives for better or worse are the focus of this podcast. Almost here means these technologies are now here and starting to be used, or just around the corner, from Bitcoin to artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Future Tech Podcast. This is your host, Juliette Lamar, and I have with me today Brian Smocovich. He is in the business development area of BlockApps, and it's really exciting. So welcome, Brian, to the podcast.
Thank you, Juliette. Thank you very much for having me on today.
So go ahead and tell us what BlockApps is.
Yeah, so BlockApps is the world's first blockchain as a service platform, enabling enterprises to quickly deploy private blockchains and then build out applications using our RESTful APIs. We're one of the oldest blockchain companies in existence, founded in 2015, and we were the first spoke of the massive Ethereum development company at Consensus. Our operation is spearheaded by the incredibly talented Kieran James Lubin, who is not only a recognized thought leader in the space, but the technical sign-off for the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, which we were a founding member of. And we were the first blockchain as a service company to become official partners with Microsoft Azure, Red Hat, AWS, and Google, which enables us to be cloud agnostic, meaning we can just spin up our solution on any of these cloud providers.
Quite a resume.
Yeah, it's a fairly impressive company, I'd say. We have been around for a long time now. I think I mentioned, founded in 2015, which makes us ancient by blockchain standards.
Exactly. So being in the space, you'll have an interesting take on this, kind of seeing where it's going, all the ups and downs of it. What is your take for the future of it?
For the future of blockchain technology? It's a huge question. But don't worry. I have a fairly, I think, concise take on this. So I think blockchain technology really is going to be the next form of the internet. It's going to power the background of certain applications, and people aren't going to necessarily need to understand what blockchain technology is. I'm of the camp that I'm anti-maximalist in the way that I think there are very many different use cases for different blockchains. I don't think there's necessarily one blockchain that's going to rule them all. I think that you're going to have technologies like whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, IOTA, hand in hand with private blockchains that help optimize the operational efficiencies of enterprises.
Absolutely. I mean, and as you said, that's a very broad question. You did a great job of answering it. With blockchain apps, you focus on training within your platform. Can you speak a little bit about that?
So we do some training, and that's originally we started with developer training, but we've delved more into helping enterprises train their employees around Solidity. So we kind of act as a one-stop shop as far as our entire service offerings. We do solution architecture. We actually build applications. We do offer training, but then our actual product that we provide is our platform. We have our own private blockchain platform, which is called Strato.
And how do people interact with that? What is kind of the way that you would use it?
Yeah, so Strato is our own private blockchain network that our team operates and maintains for our enterprise clients. It's a private implementation of Ethereum that's recoded in Haskell, and you can develop applications on top of it in Solidity because we run the EVM. Strato makes it very easy to hook into existing applications because we have a library of RESTful APIs, but we also have Strato has a management dashboard with built-in identity management and a blockchain query tool in order to make searching the blockchain easier. Developers can also download a single node right now if they wanted to by heading to the AWS or Azure Marketplace and obtaining a trial license, where they can spin up their own private blockchain in a matter of minutes. Although you can also go to our website, blockapps.net, to navigate our free testnet. But if anyone's interested from an enterprise standpoint, it would be more so they would go through our sales team, and we'd help them fully scope the solution for their particular use case, and then build it out for them customly.
Are there any success stories that you'd like to share about how BlockApps has helped build these unique blockchains to provide solutions for some companies?
Yeah, so we have several success stories, but my personal favorite is with a company called Upgraded, whose solution is currently live and in production. Upgraded is an enhanced event ticketing solution built on the Strato platform, of course, and it aims to combat the problems of counterfeit and fraudulent secondary market ticket sales. So we built this ticketing system utilizing the power of Ethereum smart contract functionality. And since we've completed the project, Upgraded has gone on to run several pilots, including being the sole ticket provider for the Dream Bowl last year.
Wow. And that's really a big problem, I feel like, that needs to be solved. And it's just one of the many ways it can utilize blockchain is with ticketing because of the fraud that is presented or the bots that come in and they buy up all the tickets. And it is a good way to fight that kind of fraud in that space. So that's excellent.
Yeah, it's definitely a perfect use case for the double spend problem as far as you have one ticket and you have one ticket and it goes out to multiple people, or you want to make sure that it's not being spent in multiple places. And then the whole, obviously, okay, stumbled a bit. Can we edit that out?
Of course.
Yeah.
Go ahead and start again whenever you're ready. So why don't you share just one more success story that you are really passionate about?
Yes, that works. Okay. So another success story that we have, one of our other past projects, and one we are particularly proud of, is we delivered the first production blockchain solution for a Fortune 500 company alongside Consensus. So the company was BHP Billiton. It's the world's second largest mining organization, and we helped design and build a supply chain application in order to track the provenance of geological core samples, to track where they're coming from and who's handling them.
Wow. And this is important. What are some of the reasons why this is needed?
Well, often mining samples can be lost or damaged within the shipping process. So what we need to make sure is that we have full visibility into the supply chain to tell where exactly things went wrong. If something was damaged, you have a full history on the ledger that can't be tampered with, and you know who last handled which particular sample. That
transparency again and that solid history, very, very useful, and probably really helps create a system of trust and eliminate a lot of the issues that people have in those industries.
Yeah, supply chain is probably the most prominent. Supply chain is probably the most prominent industry right now as far as number of use cases for blockchain potential.
No, absolutely. So how did you get the blockchain bug? Tell me a little bit about your background, how you got involved with BlockApps, and why you're so passionate about this particular platform.
Yeah, so as far as my background goes, in a previous life, I worked for a boutique management consulting firm where I advised CTOs and CIOs of foreign investment banks on different technology strategies. I first became interested in blockchain about 2.5 years ago from a buddy of mine who's now a director at Consensus and heading this awesome project, and actually a supply chain project called Viant. So he got me into Ethereum 2.5 years ago. We were just talking over beers, and one thing led to another. I quickly fell down the rabbit hole, which at that time was a much easier task to educate myself on anything and everything Ethereum, just because the whole ecosystem was a lot simpler then. But I didn't stop. It lit a fire in me that really I haven't experienced with another technology. And that's just because I genuinely believe that blockchain is going to change the way that we do business. It's going to change the way that we interact with things on a daily basis.
Well, absolutely. And you don't see it going away. It just seems to be gaining more and more momentum as different industries see the utility in it and implement it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when blockchain first hit the scene, and it's still a very young technology, it was all hype. A lot of the initial blockchain use cases were all revolving around Bitcoin. And then Ethereum came along with the whole idea of this world supercomputer, and it was a game changer. You were able to now run applications and run financial logic, leveraging this immutable data set. And it's going to basically change the way we interact with people in a financial basis. And kind of the heart of everything, I believe, are is transactional, whether it's financial or social. So this technology, these platforms are going to be built to help connect the world and enable more seamless transactions between each other.
Absolutely. Where do you see BlockApps? I mean, you already have such a strong foothold in the blockchain world. Where do you see it expanding within the next 3 years or so?
Within the next 3 years, we're currently just looking to build out our portfolio of enterprise clients. We've already established a very strong partner network, and leveraging those partners, we're going to build as many applications as we can. A lot of what you see in the space right now is there's a lot of hype, there's a lot of vaporware. We're just trying to build the actual use cases. We're trying to build applications that are going to be used by enterprises every day. Some of it isn't necessarily flashy, but it works, and it's faster and more optimized than the current processes that those enterprises use. So in the next 3 years, we're hoping to greatly expand. Right now, I think we're at about 25 people. I could easily see us being between 100 to 200 employees 3 years from now, maybe even larger if we really knock it out of the park.
So what is the best way for people to get in touch with you to start using your service and really get started?
So there's two ways to get in touch with us. One would be to go to our website. We have multiple different touch points where you can contact us, whether it's through email or through signing up for our Strato website. People can also email me directly at brian@blockapps.net. They can also tweet at me if that's their chosen method of communication. It seems that everyone in the crypto world now has a Twitter, so I'm sure people listening here are going to have one as well. And don't be afraid to just reach out to us and chat. There's no stupid questions. We understand that there's a steep learning curve associated with blockchain, and everyone needs to start somewhere.
Absolutely. Brian, thank you so much for joining us today here on Future Tech Podcast and sharing your knowledge about this world and really sharing your company and how it is changing a lot of industries that we use already.
No, and thank you so much for having me on, Juliet. We greatly appreciate it here at BlockApps.
That was Brian Smocovich. He is a business development at BlockApps. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Juliet Lamar with Future Tech Podcast.
You have been listening to Almost Here, Around the Corner Future Technology Podcast with Richard Jacobs. Subscribe to this podcast, post a review to discover more future technologies that are poised to transform our lives for better or worse, such as Bitcoin, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.